Hello, all you coin collectors out there, and welcome to the DC Coin Roll International Coin Channel. Today, we're going to take a look at the Canada $1 coin from 1976. As you can see, in 1976, it was not a loonie or a Lucky Loonie. This is the 1987 $1 Canada coin, the loonie, which was the follow-up to the large Canadian dollar, and this is the 2016 Lucky Loonie. So let's move these aside and let's focus on that $1 coin. This $1 coin is a pretty big $1 coin. It is a little bit bigger than a US half dollar, and this is the 76 US half dollar. And you can see that it's slightly bigger than that Kennedy half, and it's also slightly bigger than the Irish pinion coin, but it's very, very close. It's actually almost the same exact size, just a little tiny bit of difference. And it's way smaller, of course, than the 1976 US dollar. So this is a US Eisenhower dollar, and that was a centennial year, so you have two dates on that one. But the Canada dollar, it was a bicentennial year, I'm sorry, in the United States. The Canada dollar, it was not the bicentennial for them. In fact, though, they had the year, um, uh, their year was 1967, which was their 100th Confederation year. This coin is a nickel coin, and it had been since 1968. So prior to 1968, the Canada dollars were a silver, and in 1967 it was a Federation coin, 80% silver, and then from 65 and 66 it was just a standard coin that looked just like this, but it was 80% silver. So those are much more valuable. When you get to the 1968s and beyond, you're using nickel, and these are not very valuable at all. This coin, in fact, is worth about $1 US, and you can use it for general circulation. You can buy stuff with it still in Canada. This is a Otto Hahn design, and some people say, well, if it's Otto Hahn, why are his initials EH? And his full name was Emmanuel Otto Hahn, and you can see the EH there. And let's make it so you can really see it good if we can. So there's the E and the H. Now, sometimes people say, well, there's two initials on here. Who's the HB? And right on here, there's an H and a B. We get these a little bit better. See the HB there? That's not anybody's initials. That stands for the Hudson Bay Company, which was the original fur trapping and fur sales company for Canada. And the Hudson Bay Company was essentially ran Canada for years when the English first took over. It says Canada at the top, it says dollar at the bottom, 1976 here. We have a voyageur and a First Nation Canadian or a Native Canadian in the front. And we see these lines coming through, and those are the northern lights, representation of the lights that come in some of the northern climes through electromagnetic activity at night, and you can actually see these colored wavy lines come down through at night if you're outside. The 1976 had this kind of toothed edge, or the denticles. One of the things you might want to look for is the 1977 was very strangely had beaded outer rim. Now, a beaded outer rim looks like this, and this is the front, of course. Well, in 1977, for some reason, they moved the denticles off and they put a beaded outer rim on this coin. And so look for the 1977 because it's kind of a fun coin to look at the differences in and why they put a beaded outer rim. And then in 1978, they went back to the denticles. So look for the 1977 in this one just for some fun. The front of this coin has Elizabeth II on it. DG Regina, by the grace of God, Queen. She's wearing the Arnold Machin. She's wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and it's an Ireland. It's an Arnold Machin engraving. It's Arnold Machin and Thomas Shingles kind of did the adaptation for the Canadian engraving. This particular one is not the year where you had the floating jewel on the crown. That's 1977. This one just has the regular Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, no floating jewel. And this is Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait when she was 39 years old. They made a lot of these coins, and that's one of the reasons that it's a very little value. In 1976, they made 2.5 million of them, and they are, as you can see by the size, they're 15.62 grams, 32.13 millimeters in diameter, and 2.65 millimeters in thickness. This coin was the last year they made it in this particular variety in a weird way, and that's why I wanted to bring up the denticles, because if you look this coin up, you'll see it was made from 68 to 76. And then they made the one with the beaded outer rim, and then in 1978 they continued on until 1987. So these large dollars were actually there until 1987, but you'll see that 1977 was an anomaly year. In 1976 is listed as the last year of this coin, though they did bring it back 2 years later. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Have a great day, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.